Are you using Claude Code yet? If not, you're falling behind. I'm using Claude Code every day for months now, not for coding tasks, but for everyday business operation and work tasks. And that is market research, that is keyword analysis, that is finding people who we can sell to as a business, and this is content generation, just to name a few examples. I do a lot of the work that I used to do in other tools now on my own computer on Claude. And I do a lot of the work that used to take me hours in minutes now. But when I first got into it and tried to install Claude, every tutorial assumed that I was out there to build the next app and to already be like a terminal geek. So this is the tutorial I wish I had. Claude Code for people who build businesses and just get work done and don't per se build software. By the end of this, you'll be all set up and ready for the workflows I'll show you in this video and in the next ones coming up. So before we jump into the actual installation, I just thought I'd show you what you can get to with this. So this is the kind of the final state. This is how I use this right now. And this here, an example, is the script that for the video that you're just watching right now. And so what I do is I do some research on like what's covered out there already for what would videos be useful. And part of that is understanding how many people search for terms around, let's say in this case, a Claude Code installation. And so what I would do is I would have the script, and I'm looking also at keywords and volume. So how many Google search terms are around this topic, and how much search volume do they have, and how many people already provided content for these queries. So if that is not your use case, never mind, but it's still a good example to showcase what we can do here. So let me just have Claude Code on the right here and my text script, my video script on the left. And now I just say, hey, for this YouTube script that we're working on installing Claude Code, I would like to know a little bit more about what specific search terms people are searching for as it relates to Claude Code and installation. I'm particularly interested in people searching for non-technical installation tutorials and use cases. So if you could please use the keyword finder tool in order to find some search terms and volume that are interesting to target with this video. Now, I did text to prompt here. We'll prompt Claude on the right here to do this for us. I can give Claude the context to write this into the file. And what it's doing now is actually using an MCP. I'll explain that later in a later video, but it's an extension that allows it to give access to actual external tools, in this case, a keyword analysis and search tool. So what you see here is already that it's finding related keywords, and this looks pretty hacky, right? But it's basically sending off a bunch of search terms and identifying how expensive it is to rank for them, how many people are searching for them. And this way we can understand where there's still a lot of opportunity in the market. So you can see now we have a table with the monthly volume of how often these specific terms were searched for, what the trend is, and what this tells us, for example, that what is Claude Code is something that's really booming right now, where it's a very fast growing trend since March, that more and more people are interested in installing Claude Code. So that's why I'm doing this video, and that's the kind of stuff you can do. Now you can say, please update the video script with a summary of those findings. We'd like to introduce some of those key terms in the YouTube description as well as in the script itself. So what I did now here is I told Claude to actually edit this file on the left with the findings it got from this keyword search tool, and that can inform how we shape the video here. So Claude Code is a tool that runs on your computer in your terminal, is able to access external tools that you might have paid accounts for. It is able to access local files, and with that it is a lot more powerful than your average ChatGPT window. It's good for founders, for product managers, marketeers, and anybody who wants to do complex tasks with AI superpower. And you might have heard just a quick note on Claude Cowork, which is a new tool that costs $100 a month plus. This tool here, Claude Code, in the terminal you can use for free or on the $17 plan. And all you need is a computer, Windows or Mac, doesn't matter. Linux works as well. So with that, let's jump into the installation. So as said, what you need is a computer, and then you need to open the terminal, which is something that for a bunch of you might be the first time doing this. So all you need to do is to do Command space on Mac and type in terminal. In Windows, just find the PowerShell. And again, this guide will be available in the description below. So once you have the terminal open, you have to run this install command here. And all you do is copy this and you go to your terminal, you paste the command, and you hit enter. And here are the different commands for the different platforms. Once you install that, it will download Claude Code, and then the only thing left to do is to type Claude into your terminal. So let's do just that and feel like a hacker. I type Claude. I get welcomed by this screen here, which allows me to choose the theme. By the way, don't worry if your terminal doesn't look like mine. I spent way too much time setting this up. It doesn't matter at all. Then you get the question whether or not you want to log in with a existing Claude Code account. I would suggest you do so. It's the easiest way to get started. Just get the basic subscription. Now this will prompt me to authorize my connection between my Claude account and my local computer. So I'll just do that now by hitting authorize. And that's it. This took literally 2 seconds. Build something great. You can close this window now. You're all set. Now we see login successful here, and then a quick disclaimer. Yes, continue, and you're live. Now you have Claude Code running on your computer, and you're able to start using it to write and read local files as well as search the internet and do research. And because that was so easy and fast, I'll just now show you an actual way to use this in a contained way, meaning that what you'd like to do as a last step is, let's say you have a folder here that you created just in your Finder, and you say, hey, it's AI work, and then you say you want to work on YouTube videos, right? And again, this can be anything. You create a folder, and then this is the last command, right? So you have the install command, which you copy pasted, again, in the description, or you'll find it online. And then once you have your terminal open, you can say, hey, let's work in Claude in just one particular folder, one particular directory. That makes it a lot easier for Claude to understand what's going on, because it doesn't access your whole computer, and also side benefit, it doesn't access your whole computer. So that's good to do. So create a folder that is just for your AI work. In this case, I call the folder AI work. And then what you do is CD, you type CD into the new line, and that is change directory, which just means like go to a folder. And what you can actually do here is you can just drag this over here and you can enter. And now you're in the folder. You're in the right folder where YouTube videos are supposed to happen. Now, if you hit Claude here, it might ask you again, do you want to work in this folder? And you say, yes, continue. You can use the arrow keys to say no, exit, enter, yes, continue. Okay, now we're here. Now we can start working on YouTube videos here, right? So let me just give you a super quick example, just in a fresh folder, fresh installation, on how you can make a use of this. So I would say, hey, I'm trying to get into YouTube videos, and this is the folder where I want to start working on this. So the first thing, I guess, would be the best practices, the kind of the most important things to do once you start a YouTube channel. And I would like a file here in this folder that kind of gives me the 10 best tricks and tips to keep in mind when starting a YouTube channel. It's supposed to be helpful content for other business people starting businesses, professionals, and it's supposed to be in the intersection between AI and like productivity and workflows. I find it quite interesting that we're all trying to figure this out, so it would also be helpful to find some other YouTube channels that are doing something similar for inspiration and maybe for some potential collaboration. Can you please research this and put it in a concise file here in this folder? And now that it did a bunch of research, it's just compiling this. You can see the output here, but then it asks you usually for permission to write and create new files. And so all you do is yes, or yes, allow all edits during this session. And what you'll see is that now magically here, the file was created, and it even created a separate file without me asking for similar channels. Now, the way this is more powerful than what you've been doing so far is obviously you don't have all the context in one ChatGPT chat, but you have it in actual text files. So you can always reference this, read it, it's human readable, and you have it on your machine, so you can't lose it. But also you can start referencing this now. So you can say, hey, I want to find even more similar channels, and then you can say @ and then you will see in the drop down here, and you can use the arrow keys, similar channels, right? And so what you can say is, I want to find even more similar channels. Please update similar channels MD. And Markdown is just a text file. You can also use .txt files. That doesn't really matter. And so without any further setup, what you have is a local machine that has access to the internet, that can write into local files, it can read local files. And so you can start be a lot more creative and a lot more productive with your AI workflows, because you're not just copy pasting from a chat into something and then back and forth. You have it all in one place. So it does take some getting used to, obviously. And if you are super happy with your ChatGPT setup, in any case, I would implore you to try this out. it really gets interesting after you set up a few things, and it becomes like a limitless tool once you start connecting it with other tools. Like the keyword tool I showed you, what I also do is I connect it to like my Notion, so it can actually start writing documents into the right place so I can share them with you, for example. But we will get into this in further videos. I just wanted to give this like teaser or install instructions plus like see what you can do with this Outlook. All right, enjoy, have fun with it. Don't feel overwhelmed. The terminal is just a window to talk to your computer in a pretty nerdy way, and maybe you'll even feel cool and brag to your coworkers about it. All right, see you in the next one.